is not a period. It's a comma. All the time, you're going to run into something that you may not like, but you got to overcome it. That's why I always said that sometimes overcoming is almost more important than accomplishing things.
You're watching the Spotlight Network, starring Hollywood's newsman, Logan Crawford.
They now believe a single member.
He works with TV and film legends. And now, Logan's shining the spotlight on the world's top emerging authors and creators.
International were abducted.
This is Spotlight with Logan Crawford, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're diving deep into personal growth and self-discovery with educator and author Jerry Goodwin. He has spent 40 years shaping young minds as a teacher, counselor, and coach. He's out with a provocative new book. It is called Don't Read This, You Might Learn Something, especially about yourself. The book challenges readers to examine their values, choices, and character through candid observations and interactive exercises. Join us as we explore how respect, humility, and self-awareness can transform your life and your relationships. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. Jerry, thank you so much for joining us here today.
You're quite welcome. Thank you for having me.
Great to have you on the show. This is a powerful and important book. It explores values like love, respect, greed, power. Which one do you think people struggle with most?
Well, basically, I felt like respect is something that would, if it was part of our DNA, the world would be a better place. But love comes with a cost, because I feel like everyone in life wants pleasure. And that pleasure mainly is through love, as they said. But love comes with a price, because it can cause pain from abandonment or death or whatever. So, people struggle at times when they love something and it goes away. And virtually, I think that we just, as a society, need to understand that love and respect is more powerful than just love alone. Because if you love someone, then you can tell them you love them, but respect, show them that you love them. There's been times where I've seen a situation where there's a show called Cheaters, when people get caught cheating on their spouse or their loved ones, and the first thing they ask for forgiveness and tell them that they love them, but they didn't respect how they would react to a situation of betrayal. And so trust is an important thing along with respect.
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard that love is a verb, not a noun. And I think that's a great way to look at it, that it's an action, that it's an activity, that it's something you have to do. You have to actively love someone to show them and not do the kinds of things you just described. You spent 40 years in education. Talk to us about how your working with students helped shape the philosophy behind this book.
Well, the thing I told I said that as a young person, you want to be accepted. As a baby boomer that grew up, the word cool meant a lot, to be accepted, and so we look to be accepted by society and where we at. And I tell people, sometimes people that tell you what you want to hear are not the best things you need to hear. So that they need to understand that whatever decisions they make, at least think it through. That old saying, know the difference between looking at the forest and the trees, is really meaningful, because a lot of people are like, I don't understand where you're coming from with that, because don't forests have trees? And I say, yeah, but also there's other things in the forest besides the trees. So you have to look at it as a deeper prospect, as I say. So,
Exactly. And like you said, somebody might not be doing you a favor by telling you, oh, it's great, it's wonderful, this is perfect. You know, tell me the truth. Tell me what's going to help me. Give me an active critique. And I think that will make me a better person, a better employee, a better son or daughter, or whatever the case might be. Talk to us about one of your interactive word exercises that you have in the book and what it reveals.
oh, well, that was a real challenge because I said a lot of times people that go out on their first date or try to impress people only show the best of them.
Right.
There's unfortunately, my divorced my first wife because she was Catholic and I wasn't, and
Mm.
we didn't do pre-Cana together. If we had
Mm.
did pre-Cana together, then maybe we would have looked deeper than just the part that we wanted to satisfy each other and want
Mm.
to look at the realizations of a relationship. That a relationship is really built on compromise and respect.
Mm.
So that's what I made sure I said, well, if you this would be a great book if you meet someone and you say, hey, listen, what do you think about uh, you know, certain words or what describe you, your characteristics, how
Mm.
are you characterized? And some say, well, I'm an honest person. Some might say, well, I'm a believer. Some might say, well, I just look to do the best things I can in life.
Mm.
And I want you to be a part of that. Okay, then let's look at some of the words that build up these characteristics and then plot them out and exercise with them. And that creates honest dialogue. And that's the most important thing you want to have. If you're going to be in a relationship, the good got to come with the bad got to come with the good.
Exactly. Nobody said it's going to be easy. And like you said right off the bat, the relationships in our lives are the most important things in our lives, but we do have to work at them, and sometimes they don't come easily. I imagine a number of the lessons you've learned in life came on the sports field. You coached multiple sports for decades. Talk to us about what lessons you learned from athletics and how they apply to personal development.
The most important thing I used to always tell my athletes is I say, you're gonna have fear when you get ready to go into competition because there's things that you may have practiced for, but it's things that might happen that you won't ever expect. And so, the desire to win is to overcome the fear to keep you from winning. That
Hmm.
if you go out and give it your best and have the desire to be the best, then hopefully things will come out the way you want it to come out. But
Yeah.
if not, then that's life. Always understand that life is like a roller coaster. It's full of ups and downs. And
For sure,
sometimes
for sure.
you
Yeah, I
gotta,
think you have to look no further than the football field sometimes to see great examples of what it takes to persevere in life. You know,
yes,
it's the team that wants it the most, it's the
yes,
team with most grit, and it's the team that refuses to be defeated. You know, and
exactly.
you saw that a lot with Tom Brady. You see that a lot with Jalen Hurts. You see that a lot with different sports figures that they are the captain of that team and they're saying charge, and we're not going to lose even if we're far behind right now. So I think there are tons of lessons to be learned from sports, and I think children should, and teens, and even adults should participate in them as much as possible. What do you feel is the most difficult truth people need to face about themselves?
Uh, well, I feel like that accepting and understanding that your ego is the thing that's gonna challenge you in life more than anything because we have thoughts that come in our mind that just come out of nowhere. And the toughest thing to do is ignore some of those thoughts, especially if they're negative.
Mm.
And if you act upon those thoughts, then it could be a tough situation to get through. As I say, you can make some choices in life that you think are the right choices. And that old saying that the pathway to hell is with good intentions is no doubt the truth.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I used to say that all the time. The path to hell is paved with good intentions. And though it's not just our intentions, it's our actions, it's what we do. It's not just what we meant to do. And harkens back to like we said about love earlier on. You know,
Yes,
Verb, it's not a noun. Yeah, I got to actively love someone. Talk to us about what a balanced life guided by respect, humility, and purpose looks like.
I said that understanding that the word pride, along with humility, can bring you a long way for, especially when you have people who want to respect you. You know, we look at athletes that are God gifted and do things that's amazing. And you revere them at times because you wish you could do the things they do. But you got to learn to accept the gift that God has gave you and then understand that, you know, dig deep into your inner thoughts and understand what makes you tick and what
Yeah.
makes you successful, what was going to make you successful. You can, it hurts me and pains me to see people who give up in life, and say, well, I just can't take it no more. And then, you hear about them. We got suicide things that's going on. We want to stop that. We want to understand that, love, that understanding that life is not a period. It's a comma. That all the time, you're going to run into something that you may not like, but you got to overcome it. That's why I always said that sometimes overcoming is almost more important than accomplishing things,
Yeah.
because you got to overcome those things, those barriers in life that's going to try to stop you from being the best that you can be.
Yeah. Life is a redemption story. I
Yes.
mean, basically, that's what it is. You talked about the roller coaster before. No matter who you are, no matter where you went to school, no matter where you live, no matter who your parents are, you're going to have highs and lows in your life. They're inescapable. But the people who learn to deal with those lows effectively, to overcome, as you say, are the ones that are going to have a happier, healthier, more productive, more satisfied life. So I think that's very, very true, Jerry. What do you hope readers take away from this book after they close that last page?
Um, I just hope that they find a deeper understanding and what their purpose in life is. We all have a purpose in life. We all have a special gift that's better than anybody else. If you find that gift, you look at the athletes that make all the money. They found their gift. They worked on their gift. They worked hard to get that gift, and
Yeah.
they became successful and they prospered from it. But
Yeah.
again, I want them to understand that it's never, never too late to learn, to live, and do what you think is best for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's great advice. Everybody's got gifts from God. We got to discover what they are. We have to play to our strengths. And that's how you will build your life. You'll build your fortune and you'll build your career and your life. I love the title of your book. Don't read this. You might learn something, especially about yourself. Tell us how you came up with that and why you think it's important for readers.
But it's crazy. I say it like this. I have a thing called brain chatter, and I think it's from God because every time, he would talk to me about, this is what I want you to do. And I was like, okay. And I'd be at night and I couldn't sleep. So I get up and I just take notes from what he had told me. And it was just amazing. And I like, well, you gave me all this information. What I'm gonna call it? He said, what people usually do, what they don't want to do.
Right.
They you tell them don't do something and they what? They do it. So,
Exactly.
and I'm like, okay. So
Yeah.
that's how I came up with the title.
Well, I love it, and it's important. So I'm encouraging everyone, despite its title, to read this book, okay? And buy
Yes,
this
sir.
book. It's a wonderful book. It'll change the way you think about yourself, society, your family, and life. It's called Don't Read This. You might learn something, especially about yourself. It challenges readers to examine their values, choices, and character through candid observations and interactive exercises. Jerry, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate your time, your insight, your wisdom, and your humor. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time.